Hey there, I'm Elizabeth Henson. Welcome to the Messy Success Podcast, where I'm helping creative dreamers and overachievers tackle business and life. After 6 years of being my own boss, I finally unraveled a tiny bit of what it takes to survive in this amazing world of being an overly creative entrepreneur. I'm your business bestie, here to help you with all those big ideas and to normalize some of the day-to-day struggles that we all share. My mission is simple. I want more women to make a living doing what they love and to feel good about themselves in the process. The best way to start? We can't do it alone. So welcome. I hope you'll hang out with me here where it's totally okay to be messy. Hello, you guys. Oh my goodness. So here we are, almost 6 months into this pandemic, and I am back. I am ready to bring back the podcast. So you guys know I had just come off maternity leave and brought the podcast back, and then the pandemic hit, and I'm sure you guys all remember as clearly as I do, like mid-March, kids are out of school, our worlds are flipped upside down. It just felt weird to show up and talk about or think about anything else. And I had to very quickly decide what I was going to do in my business with my kids home, right? And my husband's working from home too, which is totally a blessing, but it just means that we're passing the kids back and forth so that we can both work from home and have our meetings and whatever that looks like. And, the podcast, unfortunately, is just one of those things that was the easiest to take off my list. But here I am. I'm so excited to be back. And let me tell you a little bit about what held me back from doing this sooner. And a lot of it was just sitting in my own fear or my own overwhelm that what if I can't show up every week? What if I'm really inconsistent? What will the people think if I don't show up consistently? I mean, you guys all know that we do this to ourselves, right? And finally, I started to get in a little bit more of a groove. My husband's mother's been helping us with the kids a little bit. And I just decided it was time that it doesn't have to be perfect. You guys know I'm the queen of messy action and, embracing my type B messypreneur ways. And it was just time. I said, I cannot sit on this any longer. I feel called to bring it back. And even if I'm working in the cracks, even if it's not perfect, I am going to do it in the best way possible that feels light and easy for me. So here I am, you guys. There is so much exciting stuff happening in my business. And as much as I just want to dive into all of that, I really want to share some of these interviews that I recorded right before the pandemic came with you guys and get those aired, and then save an episode in its entirety to just crack wide open and tell you all the things. But business has been good. Business has been really good. I got a dream opportunity to work with James Wedmore. So I've been doing some intense training there, and I have met amazing new people. My memberships are doing well. Everything is just really, really aligned. I've been laughing and saying I'm aligned AF. That's been one of my new sayings. So I'm just really, truly excited to be here. I'm excited to be back. Today, I am going to introduce you guys to my dear friend, Amanda Peterson. She actually books vacations for Disney. So go figure, it felt like a complete disservice for me to air her episode during the pandemic because Disney was closed for a while. People were not thinking about going to somewhere like Disney. But now that things are opening back up, even though, the pandemic is still very much here, but we're getting back to the best kind of normal that we all know how, right? And, Disney's open with some restrictions. And I know that Amanda will be so excited to hear from some of you guys and, get the work moving and grooving again. But she is such an angel. She has been in my communities for a really long time. We were introduced by a mutual friend, and she used to have an Etsy shop Pretty and Preppy Designs, which has now become Five Little Elephants. And she's still very much on Etsy, but she's also rocking out this venture with Disney. And it's so cool to hear all about it and all about her journey. She has just been such a huge supporter of myself and the Messy Success podcast. And she's such an advocate for community and she's so loyal. She's just one of my favorite humans. So I'm really excited to share her with you guys today. I hope you will sit back and enjoy my interview with her, even though it was a couple months ago. And I totally appreciate your grace as I bring the podcast back. I had a few technical difficulties. It's been that long since I plugged everything in. But yeah, here is Amanda, and I hope you enjoy. Thanks for being here. All right. Hey, Amanda. I am so excited to have you on the Messy Success podcast today. I feel like you have been a loyal listener since day one. My Etsy girl, my vinyl shop, who has made a recent pivot, which I told you guys about. But I want to hear it from you. Tell the people who you are, what you do.
Okay, my name is Amanda Peterson, and as Liz said, yes, I have been a supporter of the Messy Success podcast. I'm a member of Shine the Light Elite Group, and I am an Etsy seller. That's like my main source, and that's kind of what I've been doing for. I think maybe close to 7 years now, 6 or 7 years. So on Etsy, I have a company called Five Little Elephants, which originally was named something else. and
You got to tell them
originally,
where it came from, though. Tell them where it came from.
yes, the name Five Little Elephants came from my favorite animal, which is an elephant. And I have five children. So, not that they're all little anymore, because one of them just got married over Christmas, but they're always like my little babies. So we have five little elephants. So that's kind of where the name of the shop came. And if you were to go to my shop, you would see which the fancy way of saying it is personalized drinkware. But basically, the majority of what I sell is cups, water tumblers, stadium cups, champagne glasses, water vessels. So if you're having a party or you're going on vacation or you wanted a gift for somebody or yourself, my shop is able to make that. So that's kind of the main bread and butter that I do on online. And then also I am now, as you said, kind of like pivoting. I'm still going to be running my Etsy store. Etsy is still going full force. But I've always loved Disney, and I do have quite a few mouse items in my shop. And I've helped people plan their trips and given them like tips and ideas. I mean, even some ladies in the group, we have had side conversations or talked on the phone about their Disney vacation. So I kind of thought to myself, all right, well, I love doing this. I love doing it for other people. I love doing it for myself. I'm always on top of the news. How could I monetize this? Multiple streams of income. You're talking about that in the group all the time about being multi-passionate and finding ways to make other sources of income. So I kind of thought to myself, if everybody else can do it, why can't I do it too? Like I can do two things. So I interviewed with a company, Tink's Magical Vacations, and that's who I work for. And it's funny how I found that company is the owner, Kristen, was an Etsy client of mine and used my shop all the time ordering things. And eventually, kind of said, hey, I own a company, this, that. And then I booked a couple vacations with her because it doesn't cost anything to use a Disney travel agent, which people always think it does. It does not cost you anything. A travel agent gets paid commission from Disney for booking for you. So you don't pay that. So the price that you could book the vacation yourself and Disney keeps the commission, or you have an agent like myself, book your trip, help you plan your dinners, help you plan your day, your itinerary, like we kind of do all that concierge level stuff. So I kind of talked to her about it and, told her I really want to make this be something not just part time, but like full time. I really want to grow that side and this new side of my business. So that's kind of where my pivot is, and I'm just starting. It's been a couple months now, but I've already booked quite a few vacations. I've booked Disneyland, Disney World, about to book a cruise for a client, and it is just so much fun. Like,
That is so awesome.
because
But I feel like this was literally the perfect situation for you because you were already kind of the go-to Disney person. Like I would have reached out for you to you for help with Disney before you even worked for Disney. Like, you know what I mean?
yes. Well, it's because I mean, hello, I have like a random, this is a Disney shirt today, actually. Didn't even know it was going to be being shown. But yes, I mean, it's definitely something that I love. And I like to share with people, and it's exciting to me. And I think also being like a former teacher, I was very into like planning, organization. Like I had my entire month plotted out, what lesson I was going to teach, what day I'm going to teach it. And really Disney is kind of the same way. Like you really have, if you want to maximize your trip, you
Mhm.
plan it out. That's the best. Now you can do wing it trips. Like we're doing a wing it trip. We're going in the middle of March, just like random. We're just booked at the last second going, but we go all the time. So it doesn't matter to me whether I have everything booked. But if you're somebody who's going to make a once or two or maybe every 5 years, you really do want to have it planned out. And Disney kind of requires that. I mean, if you want to book dining 180 days before your trip, that's when the window
Wow.
opens. So anyways, I love it. I'm excited. I'm hoping to build my business so that eventually I have return guests. I have people who said so and so recommended me to call you and talk to you. So I'm kind of like starting like I'm a little baby agent right now, and I'm just growing and growing every day. So and I love it. Like
Well,
it's
and knowing that it doesn't cost anything extra, it seems like such a no-brainer to have an agent help you because I'm sure it actually helps save people money in the long run.
Yes, it can. And, depending on what specials are going as an agent, like we get information all the time from Disney. Like as a Disney vacation planner, you have to go through like Disney College of Knowledge. You have to do certain requirements for training to be able to even sell the vacations. And same with Universal too. I just did like a bunch of Universal training. So sometimes we're up to date on things more so than somebody who books their trip and then they've booked it a year in advance and they're just kind of sitting there waiting for their trip. It's like we're kind of checking stuff all the time and looking and kind of comparing things and seeing if that is a better deal or not a better deal.
Yeah. I mean, I've been to Disney as a child, but I've never planned a trip. Like I would have no idea. I have no desire to plan it myself. So like I'm seriously your ideal person. Like this is when we want to go. This is what we want to do. I told you we're going to wait till right before Anthony's too though, I think. But you were like, "Perfect. You got to start planning it 9 months in advance?"
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
yes, at least 180 days because that's when your dining will open. So for your trip, and if you want to book
Okay.
some of those like top places that everybody wants to go to, you're going to have to be there like literally 7 a.m. on the phones, on the internet, and punching it in. And then as your
Heck no.
agent, I have that all booked into my calendar. So if you don't want to get up in the morning, I get up in the morning, like, and your fast passes
Yes.
are like 60 days in advance before your trip. I have a reminder on my phone and my computer that says like so and so book the passes. So you kind of let me know what you want, and then I get on and try to achieve that for you. As
Oh my
kind
gosh,
of
that's awesome. Well, we need to put it in the calendar then, like the night, like the day that I need to start planning.
Yes. Well, I
So,
mean,
because you
also
said
too, like, if you said you want to wait till he's two, well, anybody under three is free. So I
oh,
always
under
kind of tell
3.
people
Okay.
that's like the magic. Like the last big trip we took, it literally was like a couple weeks before Jack turned three. So he was
Uh-huh.
like the 3-year-old kind of mind, but yet we didn't have to pay for him. We'd have to pay for
Yes.
tickets. He didn't count in the room. You don't have to pay for them on the dining plan. So that can actually save you a lot of money too. And then you can just plan another one when they're like 4 or 5 and go again.
Totally. That'll
But
be perfect then.
yeah, it's a little bit different than Etsy. Like I love Etsy. It's fun. I enjoy making the cups. I liking the different orders, but it's not like passion. Like I'm not passionate about cups, and I'm so
Hmm.
to me it's more a way to make money. It's
Yeah.
income. Where
And like it's kind of fun for you, like, or at least it probably was in the beginning, like putting together the different things.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely still gives me that creative process because I have my
Yes.
stuff that I always make, but then I have clients that will say, "Can you do this?" And I'm like, "Oh, this is so fun. We're doing something different." That,
Yeah.
um, but we're pivoting to now doing the Disney travel agent. Like this is something I really am passionate about. Like I really have fun. Like when I'm planning somebody's trip, I'm thinking like, if this was my family and like I take the goals that family wants and say, if this is my goals and this is my family, I want my family to have the best. So then I'm gonna then try to do that for my client. It's like, and it's just fun. Like it is
Yes.
more fun and exciting than making cups. But the cups right now are bread and butter, like and that's money for our Disney trips, money for extra fun things that we want to do in our family. So I'm able to contribute, but I'm hoping that, eventually the Disney, I'll be able to contribute even more.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I think when we were working together, weren't you kind of branching, like this was before you were the Disney planner, you were just doing the Etsy shop and you were kind of like having this inner turmoil of like branding the Disney stuff separate and then doing
Yes.
other things. Like, but don't you think that the universe like steered you in the right direction because the Disney stuff actually led you to this? Can you tell us a little bit about like the struggle and then what that turned into?
Well, I'm still, I mean, I totally remember talking to you about this, and I still am struggling for a sense of, I have Five Little Elephants on Instagram, I have it on Facebook, good following, but, um, and I do, obviously I've posted Disney stuff, but it's kind of more like, do I carve out something completely different for a Disney, or do like I meld some of it? Because really my shop has quite a bit of Disney stuff, and a lot of my clients are ordering, items for their vacations and things like that. So I am still struggling. I don't know if I want to like totally, I don't know if I want to manage two separate Instagram accounts, two separate entities basically. It's like I kind of just want to like push it together, and whoever stays great, and then I'll attract new people the same. But I do feel like it sometimes could be confusing to people because if they follow Five Little Elephants and looking for cups or inspiration in that, and now I'm talking about rooms or a Disney cruise ship, it's like, oh, well, what am I going to get today? So I'm
Yeah.
definitely still struggling with that. So any ideas in the group of people that can give me ideas, please give me some
I
ideas.
say
DM
like
me.
if you lean into what's going to simplify your life and your business and your intention, you're probably going to maximize the results. Like when we sit in indecision and we sit in struggle, we're kind of stalling out. Whereas if you're like, you know what, this is easier for me, because I went through the same thing, right? Like my photography bucket and my coaching bucket, especially because I don't just coach photographers, I coach people like you who
Yeah.
don't do photography. And I dabbled in having a separate account. And then I said, you know what? Like, they're getting the short end of the stick because I'm doing all these awesome stories over on my other account that are just behind the scenes so that people can get to know me. And I don't feel like doing that in two places. So I said, screw it. And I put all my stuff under one account. Okay, maybe my growth will be slower, whatever limited beliefs we want to tell ourselves. But that was easier for me, and now the people that are there are getting served way better than if I'm trying to split my attention into two places. So I just
That's
say, do what feels good,
Yeah, that's
right?
exactly like I have another account that's like just a Disney account, but I never really pop on it because Five Little Elephants, I just use that's like what's automatically just right there, like on my phone. Like
Hmm.
I have to switch accounts or do all that. So we'll just see. It's definitely some growing pains, some different, to kind of see how things go, but I'm just eager to see where it takes me, and I'm still going to keep Five Little Elephants because I feel like, That is more my bread and butter at this point right now,
And I feel like you've branded yourself pretty well as that. Like, I feel like that's where you really show up. You do like the cute little elephants in your comments. Like,
Oh
I
yeah,
feel like that is
everything,
you.
5 little elephants. I click that on. I try to do that every comment I make on everybody to kind of have my that's my little
Yeah.
signature.
I'm telling you, emojis can work in our favor if we are really consistent, you know? It's
Yes.
pretty cool.
Well, it works perfect too because it's like because someone's like, "Why does she have 5 elephants?" And they'll click and they'll be like, "5 little elephants, duh." That's why.
Yes, exactly. Like, this is so random. Oh, I get it. Yeah, but it makes you so memorable.
Yes, people remember it, and then hopefully they'll be able to remember the shop, and then now I can just kind of see where that takes me. So it's just,
Well, and I think what you're doing, the way you have the Disney items in your shop, and now that you're doing the Disney trips, I think it cohabitates like so beautifully. So, like, don't fight it. Just like let it happen.
oh yeah, and also too, like any of my Etsy orders, Disney or non-Disney, I always put something in letting them know that I also offer this and maybe on a future trip, and also can offer Etsy shop credit. So some of
Yeah.
my clients that have already gone, I have pixie dusted them with personalized drinkware for their cup for their family.
So smart.
So
So
I'm
smart.
able to kind of like use what I already have, and I'm already good at, and then gift that to a client, and and now they may not even know about my Etsy store because I have booked some people who I do not know personally, and they have no idea that I have an Etsy store. So I'll send them their package, and now they'll find out about my Etsy store. And then they could use that for something else in their
Oh,
life. Maybe they have a baby shower coming up. Maybe they have a bachelorette party or their sister's getting married. And those, I have wedding items too. So it's like you can
hmm,
kind of get different sales for different things that people are doing in their lives. That could be start with a trip and then end up somewhere completely different.
totally. Or you just build those relationships. Like, you're like always my go-to vinyl girl. Like, you helped me with the vinyl for my oils. And even though you don't market yourself as that, because we have that relationship, you're like the go-to person.
Yes. Yeah, because I definitely am not into all the oils and stuff, but I have made decals for people. But it's not like the main thing. But I can do it, surely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I want you to, and if there's anything that people come up to me that want me to make and I can't make it, or I'm maybe too swamped with orders, like I'm very honest and upfront with people. I try to adhere to a 3 to 5 day processing business days. So when you place an order with me, 3 to 5 business days, that hits the mail.
Hmm.
Obviously, if we're doing custom orders where somebody's ordering like 200 cups, we're going to need more lead time. But, the normal customer, and that's important to me. And I think that's important to Etsy people who are shopping on Etsy is they want something and they want it now because they're used to
Hmm.
Amazon. They're used to having prime delivery, so that's one of the things I really pride myself. So I will be honest with people at Etsy if they're wanting like big custom orders or bulk orders, I'll just kind of tell them, hey, I'm fast, but right now I've got, 15 orders in the queue. Like I will not be able to get this to you in 3 days. Not going to happen.
Yeah. Yeah.
And people appreciate that. They appreciate the honesty and the sincerity of not letting somebody down.
Mhm. Well, I feel like that leads us into my next topic, which is so good because you have done such a beautiful job of just like living the Shine the Light Society way. Like, I didn't even really have to coach you on this. You just automatically take care of your people and support your people. So, tell me a little bit about like what does community mean to you and your business and your life? How has it helped you grow?
Well, definitely the Shine the Light, the group of women that we have, I feel like are amazing. They're doing amazing things. They're inspiring me because I feel like some of them are just doing like big things where I'm like, I want
Mhm.
to do big things too. Like, how
You
can I
are
get a
doing big
piece?
things. You are
So
doing
I
big
feel
things.
like we bounce ideas off each other. People ask questions in our group and people will give feedback. And even if it's something like I can't give feedback, I'm always listening to what everybody else is doing because I feel like it can help you grow and it can help you think out of the box. And that's when,
Mhm.
and it's also a safe place too, where people kind of come in and can say, this is what I'm struggling with. And you can get like not just like a cheerleader, like, oh no, you can do it. It's like, give me actionable items or things that I can like follow through to help me grow my own business because I'm still kind of trying to decide what I want to be when I grow up. I'm still,
Yes, yes.
and
And I think so much of it is laying the foundation, though, right? Like there's all these huge Facebook groups where you can ask a question and you're going to get like miles and miles of advice. But I think like what separates our group, I'm totally like tooting our own horns over here, though, is that like the playing field is set to support each other, but everybody's equal. Everybody values each other. So it's not like just people coming into comment threads like barking what you should do, right? It's like that true sense of like community is there.
well,
But
I
like
feel like
even
we all know each other, even though all of us haven't met. Like, I know you
right.
guys do a lot of in person, which every time I see an in person thing, I'm like crying on the inside, like, why did I move? um, and I love it. Like, I mean, if I was there back in Virginia Beach, I would be all over those meet and greets and all that kind of stuff. But even though I have not met everyone, and some people I have met in person, and some
Mhm.
people we've had phone conversations because you've done like challenges sometimes where you like challenge us to, you know, go out of our comfort zone and make like a virtual coffee date, which I have done and followed through with people.
Yes, you're so good about that stuff.
So, well, it helps me to kind of get out of my comfort zone too. So, even though I haven't met this woman in person, we've actually spoken on the phone, or over the internet or whatever, and it does kind of help build a sense of community because when you feel like you know somebody and you know like their struggles, their family life, you may not know everything, but
Mhm.
you're behind them, you're for them. It's like that's my person, that's who I want to help, and because we've made a real connection, and that's kind of what this shine the light has done, is really made real connections even though sometimes we haven't really met in person. And I think that's
Yeah.
invaluable because there are other groups where, like you said, people are just barking at you or they're just giving you an answer, but they don't even know you, they don't even they're just telling you their opinion, and it's like, they're not giving real guidance. And I feel like we give each other real guidance, and it's helpful.
Yeah. And we usually kind of know what the other person's working on. Like it kind of helps to have the building blocks and the picture painted of like what is everybody currently working on. And the people in the group who really show up on a weekly basis, like they're very aware of who's doing what and how they can be supported and so forth. But even before Shine the Light, like we've always been so good at this. Like gosh, we met way back when we were doing the in-person stuff at Rocky's house,
Yeah.
and
Oh,
you
that's
just take
right.
yes, I mean, we've known each other, gosh, like forever. So
That
you've
was a
always,
long, like, that had to be, I think, before Jack was born. Like, that's got to be at least like 5 years ago.
yeah. But and it was Aaron Ammons who connected us, I believe, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah. So, but you've always been a community person. You've always been like, these are my people. I will support them. I will like, comment, share, engage like as much as
I am a
possible. And
true extrovert. Like, I love to love people.
yes,
Like,
like I have a couple friends, in my circle that like now have overlap, and I always tell them if your name comes up, I'm like, she will love you to the core. Like that is someone you want in your community. Like you're just so so good at that. Like so I appreciate like all the love for Shine the Light, and you're such a shining star in there, but like
ah.
as a human, like you are the epitome of like what we stand for. So like how aside from being an extrovert, like what has that kind of done? Like, don't you think that has something to do with the success of Five Little Elephants? Is like, it's not just like you went on Etsy and the magic happened. Like, you did work with other humans.
Well, I think that, and I'm always like, whenever, I'll get on Instagram and it's like somebody mentioned you or some, like you'll kind of get those notifications and somebody will like post something about my shop. I'm literally like, oh my gosh, thank you. Like you just made my day.
Yes.
It's great. I want people to like not only like enjoy the product that they get from me, but also realize like I am a real person. I am a real mom. I am a, you know, somebody at home that's trying to make a living in this world, and I'm not just like a robot or without feelings, or that I'm not like real, so
Hmm.
it is nice. It is. I enjoy it.
And because you can sit in that and know how much you enjoy it when you do it for other people, it feels good to be like, now their day is made. Like, and I know that sounds so silly, but like a lot of times when I'm taking the time to do that, like, I'm like, I know that that's going to make them happy. Right. And that's reason enough to do it.
Yes, yes, totally. I like want people to be happy and excited, whether their business is small or big, or not even business. Like there are some people that I follow that aren't even selling anything. It's like they're doing DIY projects or that. And it's like I find it so interesting and I'm enjoying it and I want to share them with, with anybody who's watching me because they might say, wow, I like that too. I'm interested in that. And I'm a big podcast listener. So whenever I'm like listening to podcasts, I'm like, oh, I should screenshot this and like post it because this is what I'm listening to during my little, 2 hour work window. Because I have a very small work window with my youngest is 3, so he is in preschool. So there's really only Tuesday through Thursday. He's in preschool from 9 to 12. So I really only have from like 9:30 to 11:30 during that
Hmm.
time frame that is really uninterrupted work. So I work on a very short uninterrupted work zone, and then the rest of everything else is literally I'm sneaking something in during dinner, I'm sneaking in late at night, I'm waking up early, depending on like what the workload is.
Totally. That is like so my jam. And don't you find like that you're more productive because your window's so small?
Oh yeah, when I know, like I make a little list and I'm like, these are the things that like literally have to be done. Like I will not answer the phone. I will like block myself from getting on, Facebook, like if it's not like work intentional or whatever, it's like I have to work, I have to get these emails returned. I have to look these quotes up or I have to make these cup orders, whatever it is, it has to be done. Because especially with the Disney stuff, sometimes I have to talk to a client on the phone. Where Etsy, I'm
Yes.
not talking to anybody on the phone. So I have to make sure that I have a quiet background when I'm talking to a new client. Where Etsy, I could have the radio going, I could have a podcast, the kids could be jumping around. Doesn't matter. I'm making a cup in my office and they're being wild out in the kitchen.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah. That's so true.
definitely like a juggling. Like it'll be amazing to me in the next couple years when Jack will be in kindergarten, full day school, and that like where can I be in a few years when I actually have a work day?
Oh my gosh. I know. Don't we all daydream about that?
I do. It's like, of course, I'm sad because he will be like my last one. Like I've had
Hmm.
kids for a very long, like my oldest is 23, so it's like I've had kids for a long time. People have been home, but I also feel like I'm trying to lay some groundwork now so that in a year and a half or 2 years, the groundwork's been laid and then I can really start to blossom and focus on many different aspects of like growing not only my Etsy business, but also growing the travel agency, being with Tink's Magical Vacations.
Yeah, definitely. So,
So,
and I find a lot of times the women that I work with that really struggle with the time management, it's usually when they have too much time. Like I find that busy moms like you and myself who've established somewhat of a workflow, like we get stuff done. Our struggle is more the emotional battle of work versus mom
uh,
guilt, right? Like not
yes.
the actual like output of the work, like the work's always going to get done, but like there's just that emotional struggle, like with having Anthony, my third one, like it's been even harder than ever. Like what are like some actionable tips that you have now that you've mastered this motherhood thing with 5 kids? Oh my gosh, bless your heart.
I
And working, like you quit teaching, you used to be a teacher,
yes.
and I know that was like such a huge thing for you to quit teaching and be a stay-at-home mom, but you really do contribute to your household income. And I think so many women feel like they can't, or it feels too scary, or they feel like they can't juggle all the balls. Like, what are some tips that keep you going?
Well, it's always a struggle, because sometimes when I'm doing something with work, even though it's in the home, I'm not fully present with them. It's like if I'm returning an email, yeah, I'm a stay-at-home mom, but I'm returning an email, so therefore I'm not like reading a book with my child. So I'm always having that mom guilt, is which I think any mom is. I think even if you I mean, even when I stayed at home and didn't have Etsy, it was still like, am I doing enough? Are we in enough classes? So, I mean, I think the best thing is, actionable tip is just to give yourself some grace and know that you are not perfect. I am not perfect. I am doing the best that I can do. And some days, I pat myself on the back and say, "Man, you did really good today." And other times I look back and say, gosh, I need to do something a little different tomorrow. Like maybe I need to give myself a little bit more sleep so that I'm not as grouchy. Maybe I need to decline that order, and and where I have to kind of mentally check myself.
Hmm.
And with Etsy, one of the things is you can put your shop in like vacation mode, which is nice because it can give you a breather. We're going to
Hmm.
be moving into a new home soon. We're building right now, and I will have to put my shop into vacation mode. So that means I will not be taking any more orders. Now, the Disney planning, that will still be going on, but that's easy because I'm just on my computer. I don't actually have to have like physical products that I can get my hands on at that moment. As long so that so I could
And you
tell
can
people.
schedule that a little bit more too, whereas Etsy, like the orders just kind of come in.
Oh yeah, Etsy, if you're open, I mean, it's like I could have one order, I could have 10 orders come in, but once you put it into a vacation mode, Etsy basically puts your shop like it says my shop is on vacation. People can't see any of the listings and therefore they can't place any orders. So it
Hmm.
does kind of put that, especially too because Etsy's so time sensitive because I put that parameter on myself, where uh, with the vacation planning, I mean, I still put pressure. Like, I like to respond to every email in less than 24 hours. Like, I feel like if
Hmm.
somebody has to wait more than like 5 hours for a response, I'm like, they need to know because I always want to know. Like, when I'm emailing somebody, I'm like, I want to hear back from you in like 12 hours or at least 24 hours based on like time zones and stuff. But
Yeah.
so I put a lot of pressure on myself, but at the same time too, I try to just give myself grace and just say, you know what, you're doing the best that you can in this ever-changing world of social media and people and timelines, and just trying to be the best mom that I can be, and also have a business, which I never thought that I would be like a business owner or an entrepreneur. I felt like teaching is where I am. That's my heart, that's what I do, and I still have my teacher license. I may go back to teaching, but I'm really enjoying this ride of entrepreneurship right now, and it's a bumpy ride, but it's fun. Like, jump
Yeah.
in, people. Whatever you're thinking about doing, just try it.
Right. There's no harm in trying. Like
Yeah,
sometimes
because
people are like, I got to get it right. I got to get it right. And I'm like, but you're going to learn so much more if you just bump along.
yeah, and I think some of it too is not trying to make everything be right or perfect. Like, don't sink too much money. With how I started my shop, was actually the machine that I use was a gift from my siblings as like a birthday gift because I really wanted to just like make things for my family and just kind of have fun, like be creative. And then I saw that it's like I could make money with this. Like, this
Hmm.
this birthday gift could actually produce an income. And so it's like I didn't have to spend thousands of dollars, which I feel like sometimes people fall into that pit of like, well, I have to spend 3,000. I have to have the best of this, the best machine, the best, it's like, just start where you are. Start with
Yep.
like the cheapest, cheesiest business cards, whatever it is. Like, it doesn't have to be perfect. Just have something that your name is out there and that you're trying, because then you can only grow,
Totally.
and you grow, and you'll make changes when you have more money or you have more income. And that would be another thing I would tell people to do is don't spend too much money up front. because you don't want to be in debt and for a business that you don't even know if it's going to work.
And you
Just
don't you
start
don't
really
know, yeah, you
small.
don't have a visual. It's like I tell people all the time, like, "Don't spend $3,000 on a website your first year." Like, wait till you are crystal clear on what you're doing and who you're serving.
Yes, because even when I started Etsy, my shop was named something different, and I sold little girl hair bows. That's
That's
what I
right, that's
originally
right.
did because I made them for my daughter, and I did craft shows. I did all that. I didn't even do that, and then it was like slowly, just like I said, I got the birthday present, and I was like, wow, like other people are making money at this. Like, why couldn't I? And then,
Mhm.
you know, started out with just like a few items because I was like scared, like, oh, is this going to be good quality? How is it going to ship? And then just kind of instead of doubting myself, I'm like, let's just try. Let's order like a couple and see what happens. And now it's like I'm shipping things every day. I have my little scale. I weigh everything. I was so afraid to do that at first that
Mhm.
even at first I only did decals because I was like afraid to like be shipping, glasses to people
Products,
I was
yeah.
so scared that something was going to happen or I wasn't going to be able to do it. And I was limiting my own self. And then it's like, just try it and see what happens.
Mhm.
And then was able to grow.
And now
And
you're like BFFs with your mail guy, right?
yes, I've always, because we've moved a few times.
Oh,
And
yeah. Yeah, yeah.
yes, every time I move, like before I open my shop, I am like talking to the mail person. Like I'm finding out about their family. Like, what is your name? How many children do you have? Like literally becoming their friend. And then I'm like, by the way,
You're gonna
um, I'm getting ready to have a lot of things that I'm going to start shipping from this home. And so far, I've been very lucky. Every male person I've had has been wonderful. I always have like snacks for them and little drinks. And I try to do stuff like that too to be thanking them for
Yeah.
delivering my packages because at first I used to take everything to the mail, like to the post office myself. And then it was like, oh, why do I want to do that? That's like a lot of gas. And especially where I live now, I live in a very rural location.
Mhm.
So it would take me like 20 minutes plus to even get to the post office. So, yeah,
0,
I mean,
4.
and when I see them coming up, I like, oh, here, let me help you with the boxes. And,
Yeah, and I'm sure
but
they
yeah, so
appreciate
that
that.
is definitely key. And then when we move to our new place, I will use my same ploy. I will become your friend. And then
And
I
then
will
drop the
spring on
bombs.
you that I have an Etsy store. And I will be having multiple packages being shipped. 'Cause
Oh
they
my
don't fit
gosh,
in
I
the
love it.
mailbox. So I always have, like, this little thing that I put in the mailbox that alerts them that I have things on the porch. So I kinda always work that out with them, like, this is the way we're gonna do things.
Yeah. Oh
So,
my gosh.
yeah, I mean, so thank goodness, and hopefully my next mail person will be such an angel as the ones that we've had in the few houses that we've lived in since we've been here in North Carolina.
Oh my gosh, I'm sure they will be. Okay, well, what is next for you? Is there anything else that you wanna share with the peoples?
Gosh,
Um,
really, the next thing coming up for us is more personal, is that we're moving. We're
where are
moving
you
about
guys
an hour
going?
away from where we live
Okay.
now. So it's definitely like a big move, like, new schools, new church, new so
What part of North Carolina will you be in?
we're gonna be living in Pinehurst, North
Okay,
Carolina.
that's close
So
to Raleigh, right?
yes, we're still about an hour south of Raleigh, but we're
Okay.
kind of like more west. Um,
Well,
so
I'll
yeah,
be in,
we're
Durham in June.
Oh,
So,
okay. Yeah,
yeah.
that's only like 45 minutes. Like we went to
Mhm.
like a museum there. So let me know if I
Okay.
can. Like I'd love to like meet you for lunch. Like driving an hour for me is nothing. Like
Right, right, right.
I drive all the time because we're actually moving more into civilization instead of being right now we're very rural.
Yeah.
So we're moving back to society. I'm very happy to be like near stores and grocery stores and restaurants. I'm just loving it. I can't wait to
Yeah.
move. But really that is really the next big thing is more personal, is that
Right.
my Etsy store will be going into vacation mode probably sometime like early April. So any orders will have to be made by then because once I ship it, close it down, I'll be boxing everything up. I mean, we're already starting to box things up in our home. The rental house we're in now, they're getting ready to sell it. So we have to get everything off the walls, and we're, trying to just, so really more I have like personal is
Yeah.
the personal thing that's coming up for me, which I know isn't business stuff, but it is a part of business, is that life still happens when you have a business. So Etsy will be on hold for a little while, and but I will still continue to do the travel agency because that doesn't require products. It's just
Hmm.
all I need is internet, and I'll have internet the entire time. I'll have my laptop and all that stuff that I can use. So
So
that will
where can people find you if they're interested in booking a Disney trip? We know you have the Etsy shop, Five Little Elephants.
yes.
So where can people find you if they want to get connected with a Disney planner?
Yes, Disney. Okay, you can contact me at the shop too. So if you remember Five Little Elephants, email me there, and then I can just bump you back on my business account. So that's one way. Um, Another two is you can email me. It's Amanda at tinksmagicalvacations.com.
Okay.
So that, just my email. I don't have like my own personal site right now. You can go to tinksmagicalvacations.com and look me up that way. That's like
And
our
then Five Little
websites.
Elephants on Instagram, right? People can totally DM you
Yes.
too.
I mean, yeah, DM me at, like I said, Five Little Elephants. That's probably easy to remember because you're thinking, whoa, this lady has 5 kids and she likes elephants. So you can
Yeah.
remember. And
You'd
I
probably
will
just Google Five Little Elephants and find you, honestly, on
Yes,
all the
yeah, it'll
platforms.
come
Yeah.
up. And it's like on Facebook, I have like Tink's Magical Vacations with Amanda, like a
Yeah.
page I started, but I still even post things on my Five Little Elephants page because I have such a bigger audience there, and it's already kind of been there. So,
Yeah.
and I figured if I lose a few people, hey, great, I'll gain a few people who are, more into where, I'm going to be heading. So
Well, and
definitely,
like I said, it's not a shocker to people that you're doing this because like
no,
this wasn't out of left field. This wasn't like all of a sudden Liz Henson is going to make and sell candles, right? Like
yeah.
this was totally in your wheelhouse already. So I don't think it's a shocker to anybody.
No, yeah. And also remember too, if you do book a vacation through me, it does not cost you anything. If any
Right.
travel agent for any company is charging you, do not use that travel agent. They should be getting their commission from the company they're selling,
Good
who's
advice.
their distributor. So like I get my, Disney pays my company and my company pays me. So
Good
so that's
advice.
like one thing that most people do not believe. They think, oh no, a travel agent is making, somehow they're swindling me. It's like, no, we're not. We're not at all. We're just here, at least for me, I'm here to help you. Like I want you
Yeah.
to have a magical vacation. I want you to feel like there is still magic in this earth. And I mean, I don't know. I love it. Like every time I go there, I'm like crying. Like it's just,
Yeah.
so many great memories, and it's just such a great place. And Disney is expanding beyond the parks. Like now, not only do they have the cruise lines, but now they're starting to do Adventures by Disney, where they're basically doing tours all over the world, like
Oh,
Egypt,
cool.
Greece, and family oriented vacations as well. So it's like if you want to go on a safari, you can do that with your family, and it's like Disney is hosting it and doing it so that it will all be like catered for your family. So it's pretty
Yeah.
exciting.
I love it. Well,
Yeah.
thank you so
I
much. I'm so
know.
glad that we got to do this.
And thanks for springing this live thing on me. Yeah.
I know. Oh my gosh, it was so great. Cool. Well, thanks
Yes.
so much for joining us. I'm
I know.
gonna
Well, thank you so much for having me.
yay. I just love Amanda and her energy. It was so good to have her on, even though it was a few months ago. All right, you guys. So I will be back. I have another guest to share with you guys. And I appreciate you as I'm just getting all my pieces back together, getting the podcast going. But I would love to hear from you guys and start answering some questions, getting some really good conversations going. I actually just had a cool question come through Instagram, and I was like, man, I should be sharing some of this content on the podcast. And a friend of mine asked me how she should price a program that she's working on. And I just reminded her that price a lot of times is irrelevant and it's more about our offer, right? Like, so is it solving a problem? And if somebody reads about it and sits in their pain and realizes that you can solve their problem, how does that price convey? Do they read the price and feel like the solution is worth 10 times that actual amount so that it's a no brainer? But we don't want to base our offers or our programs on the price, because we don't want people making the decision on the price. We want people to make the decision based on how we can help them. So that was just like my little tidbit of an Instagram conversation. But I just love having these business conversations. I love giving people permission to, create their own future or whatever that might be. So I'm just excited to be here with you guys, and I will see you in our next episode.